with GardenGates. I'm Jane, and today we're going to talk about what we can, maybe can't do, with particularly the rodents, the pests that we have so much out this way. We have rats and mice, we have lots of rabbits, we've got very damaging ground squirrels. Oh my gosh, yes, lots of things. We've got gophers, particularly the rodents. They can be very, very destructive. So here we go. So I'm going to give you some ideas of things that I have found over the years have worked for me and for my clients. There are a lot of other things. There are lots of natural things that I really wanted to work, like sound effects and spitting water and bubble gum down the holes of gophers. And unfortunately, they may work for a little while, for a few weeks at best, but they usually figure out, these rodents aren't stupid, they figure out ways around them. Here's an easily made cage that you can do, a cylinder. I've used a heavier gauge behind to keep it solid. And I've got chicken wire in the front. And just set it around any newly planted plants, and it'll help protect it, particularly from the rabbits. You can create a protected area for growing your vegetables or delicate flowers. I've got a gate right here. The door was electrified. That's what that funny little piece of plastic is over here. I took the electric off because the ground squirrels were getting in anyway. They found their way in without any problem. So I just leave this up for the rabbits and use this same 1/2-inch hardware cloth underneath to keep the gophers from coming up under. Bird netting is very useful for helping keep pests out. You can put it over the top of a more solid structure, like something that's held in with fencing, rabbit wire, or anything else. You can see this is all very delicate plastic netting. It gets caught in everything, so be careful if you're wearing any jewelry or if you have any buttons on. It's serving very well here for keeping the leaves out of the pond. It also keeps the migrating birds from eating the fish. And as I said, it makes a good topping on other kinds of enclosures where you want to keep critters from entering. If you use netting, you have to make sure that it doesn't bump up against any rocks like this. I've got some plastic hardware cloth here that at least forms a barrier so there's no electrical connection. And so it doesn't touch on metal like what I'm showing you right here and cause dangerous sparks. Beware that even with this, if you do have it off any hours during the day, that critters will chew through this one too. I prefer building material barriers, but you could also use traps. I built this little screen house. It's a little hard to see, but what I did is I covered my greenhouse after I finished using it for growing all the seedlings that filled my area, my garden, and turned it in. I took the plastic off of it and covered it with, again, that 1/2-inch hardware cloth. Built some very high raised beds that are great for your back. And if you have any problems, if you have any older people who need extra help for gardening, and frankly, it's nice because you can really fill them with the kind of soil that you want. This is all fresh, well, not fresh, but it's aged manure, and this is where I grow my vegetables. You want to make sure I have shade cloth, which is hard to see here, on the roof because our sun gets so strong in the summer. The greenhouse, once the plastic was gone, basically covered with all sorts of bits and pieces of trash in the garden. I had some extra lattice work that I put up as a wall on here. And then we have the roof, which is just shade cloth, and I painted on some fake tiles on the top. And there was an old broken shutter, which I broke into 4 pieces and built faux windows. So at least it's kind of fun to look on from the house. That's the chicken coop stuck to the end.
So I hope this has been helpful for you. Have a good couple of weeks. Be safe, and we'll see you next time.